In Japan, there is a concept which we call mutainai. And this concept means that you use the resources you have efficiently. And I thought that was so wonderful. It really means sustainable development. It means sustainable utilization of the resources that we have. It means efficient utilization of the resources that we have. It means responsible utilization of the resources that we have. It means thinking of other people who may not have. Therefore, don't waste, because there are others in the world who may not have.
Humankind has always strived for a better life. In Japan, where science and the economy are well developed, life has become more convenient and comfortable. We have, however, run blindly and have forgotten something important. There is a limit to the natural resources on the planet. We have to take responsibility and protect the environment. This issue concerns us all. Our over-reliance on natural resources and the careless and wasteful lifestyle of advanced countries with respect to these resources has caused everyone on the earth to suffer. What we need to do now is to learn and cooperate. This video is a call for a unified effort in search of an effective solution to this problem by analyzing the experience we have gone through in Japan. The demand for resources has been rapidly increasing worldwide, along with the growth in the population and economies of many countries. Consumed resources produce waste, pollute the water we drink and the air we breathe. Even though advanced countries are the prime consumers of natural resources, the problem of waste is also becoming a grave concern in developing countries, as urbanization increases and economic development advances everywhere. Therefore, cooperation among countries to create a society that places recycling as a priority, limits the consumption of natural resources, and decreases the burden on the environment must become a common objective for the human race. We have to establish a sustainable production-consumption pattern through the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. The 3 R's will allow us to realize a world where people can enjoy a high quality of life. After the 1950s, a policy for the improvement and the maintenance of public health was employed in Japan. Along with the rapid economic growth of the 1960s, the health dangers caused by exhaust gas and wastewater became a public problem. Mercury poisoning is one of the 4 great pollutions in Japan. The methyl mercury chloride in the wastewater of the Chiso Corporation Minamata factory polluted the seawater, accumulated in the marine life, and caused mercury poisoning, called Minamata disease, in many of the people. The company neither admitted nor took responsibility for being the source of this pollution for a long time. Japan made a big mistake by focusing only on economic growth. In the 1970s, another big problem arose. There was a serious confrontation between the local governments, who wanted to build incineration facilities and landfill sites, and residents who admitted the necessity of the facilities, yet did not want them in their own cities due to potential environmental risks. The residents' protest campaign extended nationwide. Instead of the previous method of collecting municipal waste by hand, regular collection began using newly introduced packer trucks. Through more efficient management of the combustion temperature, the system filtered the gaseous waste, resulting in cleaner exhaust. The semi-aerobic processing system was adopted in cleaning the waste, which led to cleaner wastewater disposal as well. The system to process the rapidly increasing city garbage was modernized and advanced significantly. Construction of waste incineration plants in residential areas became more feasible as the appearance of incineration plants within the landscape was considered as well. Moreover, heat generated from an incineration plant is now utilized to generate power for things such as air conditioning in the area. The local government recognized the importance of disclosing information on the influence that the waste management facilities might have on the environment so as to ease the concerns of the residents. Waste management in Japan has made great progress in overcoming these problems. While the economy in Japan was experiencing its most prosperous period, called the bubble economy, resource consumption and waste knew no limits. These problems were the result of our own actions, negligence, and lack of foresight. Due to a lack of waste management facilities, waste, which used to be measured by its weight, was measured by its size, and now its contents are also taken into account. Japan began to realize that the convenience and affluence we have been aiming at might be nothing but a waste of resources, which are not infinite. Household waste has tripled in the last 40 years, and its contents have changed. The increased amount of municipal solid waste caused a shortage of landfill sites, while the cost of processing jumped, which led to a new concept. This idea is that the manufacturer takes the responsibility for the collection and the recycling processes of its products. The manufacturer is now expected to adopt the life cycle assessment. This is an approach to minimize the impact of a manufacturer's product on the environment, consequently developing products that can be easily reused or recycled and that least affect the environment when they are disposed of. It is, however, difficult to execute this type of plan, one which cares primarily about the environment in a capitalist economy where the pursuit of profit takes priority over everything else, because of the potential disadvantages that exist in terms of cost and quality. To cope with this situation, the government is expected to offer preferential benefits to environmentally conscious corporations. Industrial waste was previously disposed of on the premises of the factory or in local government landfills. But the increase in industrial waste made it difficult for local governments to manage. The Waste Management Law of 1970 made manufacturers responsible for processing their own industrial waste, and local governments responsible for processing municipal waste. It was the law which led a private sector in industrial waste management to begin to grow and prosper. At the same time, some people were engaged in illegal dumping. In order to cut the cost of industrial waste management, business entities started to make efforts to reduce the amount of industrial waste by reusing some of the waste generated through their production processes and by reconsidering the use of their raw materials and revising their manufacturing methods. Through trial and error, it has become obvious that establishing a sound material cycle society is essential. For the promotion of the 3 R's, various strategies are necessary. raising awareness, sharing information, incentives, partnerships among various bodies, and technological development. Effective linkage among these respective strategies will achieve synergistic effects. First, it is essential that stakeholders share the same awareness. Clean industrial waste management education and environmental education are important. Second, information must be widely shared by all stakeholders. Information facilitates understanding, enhances self-awareness, and promotes action. Third, incentives to stimulate and encourage waste producers are indispensable. The eco-community and eco-town project schemes, which can act as model projects for demonstration, require more exposure and promotion. Fourth, the unprecedented partnership of central government, local governments, private sectors, communities, and NGOs is essential. Cooperation between the private sector and the public sector is especially necessary and expected. Finally, science and technology, which consider and utilize the 3 Rs, have great potential to bring about sustainable production and consumption patterns. To support this, untiring technological development is necessary. In Japan, a systematic approach is being taken within the framework of the fundamental law for establishing a sound material cycle society based on the above key ideas. The United Nations General Assembly resolved sustainable development in Rio de Janeiro in 2002. Environmental problems are now something not only for advanced countries, but also for developing countries to cope with. Urbanization and the concentration of populations in many developing countries have accelerated far more rapidly than advanced countries had once experienced. Consequently, waste problems are emerging. In these countries, however, effective organizations among public and private groups and the community at large to tackle these problems have yet to be well established. It is essential to foster the responsible organizations to cope flexibly and effectively with the environmental changes as they arise. Let's look at the city of Dhaka, Bangladesh. The two prominent activities carried out in Dhaka are collecting waste, which would have previously been sent to landfill sites, and recycling it. Some of the items are resold at recycling markets. We should also highlight the successful waste management done by the residents of Ward 65 in Islamabad, who used to be woken up by the foul smell of garbage. With the help of Waste Concern, an NGO in Dhaka which takes kitchen refuse collected from residents to their own composting facility, they were able to clean up their neighborhood and improve their environment. This case has been introduced and demonstrated to other countries as a model case. From the waste production control angle, the public sector banned the use of plastic bags, which is actually practiced only in Bhutan and Bangladesh. This measure was taken to cope with drain clog-up caused by plastic bags, which were once overabundant in the town. It also acts as a waste control measure. In Japan, 30 billion plastic bags are used by stores annually. Use of these bags will be subject to change in 2007. In Kyoto, on a stone wash basin sitting quietly beside a tea ceremony house, is engraved an old teaching to show appreciation of what one has. I know just what is enough. This might be a message to us now, to evaluate the lifestyle we have been aiming to achieve. We support the 3R initiatives: reduce, reuse, and recycle. The first step towards sustainable development for you, me, and everyone else.